Let's do
What's
it.
going on, real ones? Family, what's going on? My name is Kenyatta Mitchell. I am the host of Real Ones Only.
And I'm Joel Brown. I'm the co-host of Real Ones Only.
So, like I said, welcome back. Right now, we're about to break down the culture, the classics, and the real message behind your favorite films. And
And
to,
look, today we're talking about a movie that hits home for a lot of people. Food, family, drama, and love.
so you know what we're talking about is right behind Joel. We're talking about Soul Food.
Soul food.
Oh man.
Look, and this movie was amazing, right? So first thing
Hmm.
about Soul Food, it's still a 90s movie. Though it's late 90s, it dropped in 1997.
Right.
And it was directed by George Tillman Jr.
Mm, good grief. And then the movie centers around a tight-knit black family in Chicago, with one thing holding them together every Sunday.
That was Big Mama. Big Mama's dinner table.
Yes, 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 yes. All right, so let's talk about the cast right fast. So the cast was stacked. Back in the
Yes.
day, it was a really stacked cast.
Yes.
So right now we have Vanessa Williams as Terry, Vivica A. Fox as Maxine, Nia Long. Everybody's crushed at that time.
Near long.
You
Yes.
know what I'm saying? As Bird, Michael Beach as Miles,
Hmm.
Mekhi Phifer as Liam, Irma P. Hall as Big
Part of
Mama,
the movie. Yeah.
part of the
Big.
movie. And then we have Brandon Hammond as Ahmad. If you don't remember, Ahmad is the one who's basically narrating the movie the
Hmm.
entire time,
Hmm.
giving us the backstory about the movie. So,
Hmm.
all right. So now, me and Joe discussed this movie a lot.
A lot.
And it was like a movie that we were like wanting to do, but we didn't know how people would take to it.
Hmm.
So we were like, we're just going to go ahead and go with it. Like I said, it's a great movie. So just a quick synopsis: the movie is about soul food, but not just soul food. It's
Hmm.
more about the family, how it started, where it came from, and basically we found out how this family started. With their journey from, I think it was Louisiana,
Hmm.
traveling all the
Somewhere
way to
south,
Chicago
Chicago. Hmm.
and then basically taking this generation and tradition of, basically they said 30 years of
40.
tradition, 40, 40,
40.
40 years of tradition on how to basically have this Sunday dinner. And they did state that it started from talking about actually talking and gossiping about people, and then it transitioned to everybody coming over, having a great time, and basically, uh, having Sunday dinners. Now, just imagine you just learning about not just Sunday dinners, but you also learning about tradition, generation, recipes, all this stuff coming from, the generations that they've been, doing this stuff so for the longest. So what you think? So I'll say this. Just to piggyback, I know I'm rambling, but just to piggyback off the movie, we talking about Big Mama hosting Sunday dinners. Everybody comes together no matter what's going on.
Hmm. And I mean, and the movie opens up with a wedding and this crazy, we're gonna get there, a little bit later, but
Hmm.
and you can see that they're like the movie is centered around three sisters
Hmm.
who have some who have tension, like most families. If you have a brother, siblings, and there's gonna be tension sometimes between Terry, who I believe was the middle. Was she the oldest or was she the
She was
middle?
old. I think she
I
was
think
the
she was
oldest.
the
She was the
oldest,
oldest.
and Maxine was the middle, and Bird was the youngest one.
Hmm.
And they had different personalities and different lifestyles.
Very, very, very different lifestyles. Expound on that for the lifestyles. Expound on that.
I mean, like, so, you got Terry, who was like a lawyer, like a big time lawyer. Her and her husband, Miles, they were both lawyers making big money,
Hmm.
right? Where you got Maxine, who looked like I think she was a stay-at-home mom, I think. I don't know. It
Hmm.
didn't say what she did, but I know her husband. Who was her husband?
Um,
Uh, Let me go back to the thing. I think we left him out.
do we left him out?
I think we left
I
him.
think we
No, no,
did. I think
yeah,
we
we think we
did.
left him out. Dang, that brother,
Hmm.
he ain't he wasn't that serious. I forgot the husband. But he looked like he was like just a blue collar worker,
Hmm.
right? And so you have Bird, and Bird owns a beauty salon where
Hmm.
Terry gave her down payment to for the house.
No, for the
And
salon.
so I'm sorry, excuse me, for the salon.
Right, right,
So,
right,
and of
right.
course she marries an ex-con, and he's
Hmm.
cool. He just got some issues to work through, and that was sort of the different lifestyles. They
Right,
were just
right,
kind of
right.
different.
Right. So another thing we want to talk about, because like you said, the lifestyles were different. So let's start talking about the cracks in the family.
Hmm.
Um, Looking at the movie, you can tell there were cracks because, like Joel said, you had Terry, you had Maxine, and you had Bird. Everybody
Hmm.
had their different lifestyles, and then basically the lifestyles kind of trickled into the family, which kind of put the cracks into the family.
Hmm.
One of the things we can basically go back to is that Terry and Maxine had like the same guy,
And
and
his
then
name was Kenny.
his name is Kenny. Correct. Terry and Maxine had like Kenny. Terry was actually dating Kenny in the beginning, but then all hell broke loose where Maxine actually took Kenny from Terry.
Mom stole Dad right out from underneath Aunt Terry's nose. And the two haven't gotten along since.
Get out of the car!
So
Hmm.
that was like an ongoing situation between that. So those two sisters, just imagine bickering for almost just years and years and
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
And this is the reason why there was some cracks in the family because of that. Now you also have Big Mama. What she got going on? She got diabetes.
Hmm.
That's another crack in the family because now instead of taking her medicine, what she's doing, I'll just go ahead and take my home remedies. And no, and people don't. I'm not going to knock the home remedies. I'm not going to knock that because a lot of people back in the day use those home remedies and they did work. But if
Hmm.
you're dealing with something like
Not just
diabetes,
diabetes.
no, not for diabetes. And
Can't
Terry even
work.
said, and Maxine even said in the movie, what about your diabetes? You know what I'm saying?
Can't work.
It's
Yeah.
just the fact that she was not taking care of herself. And at that point, the diabetes was another crack in the situation
Mhm.
because the longer she let it lingered, the wider the crack got.
And
So
yeah,
now,
yeah.
go ahead, go ahead.
No, and we're gonna I can't wait to talk about that, right?
Hmm.
Because I mean, we're gonna see right now we're just giving it a little synopsis, but there's more to it. There's
Hmm.
more to it. And what you see is because of that crack, everything tends to fall apart. Now, I'm gonna tell you, Ken, that I believe everything would have fell apart anyway if
Okay.
Big Mama was 100%, right?
Hmm.
But But when that happens, Sunday dinner stops. For the first time in 40 years, it stops.
Mhm. It does stop. And now we come to find out, all this stuff is going on. Like you said, the cracks after that, the cracks widen. They widen more. But why the cracks started widening? Because, like you said, Big Mama wasn't healthy enough. So now she got diabetes. Now all of a sudden, they waited so long, she has to now basically go and get
Amputee.
her
Yeah, her
leg
leg.
amputated
Hmm.
because of the situation. So now we got to think about this. She got her leg amputated. Now we're trying to figure out what's going on. She gets her leg. Well, let me stop rambling. So she gets her leg amputated. Now it's like, oh my gosh, there's no Big Mama. There's no Big Mama now. So now the foundation, which is the matriarch of the family, Big Mama, she's not there. And all of a sudden, all the issues start to come out.
Yep.
Terry is controlling and career driven. Maxine is struggling in her marriage. Now, I'll say the reason why she was struggling because they really weren't making the money that they wanted to make because she was a stay-at-home mom. They just had another baby. The father's probably working so many
Kenny.
hours,
Hmm. Keep working. Yeah.
Kenny, and then now you got Bird. She dealing with secrets. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying from her past.
Boyfriend.
So
Ex-boyfriend. Yep. Yep.
ex-boyfriend. So it's like it's crazy. So now the cracks are starting to widen even more. Now you got a big crack like the San Andreas fault. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like, oh my gosh. So now the conflicts. What's the conflicts, man?
So I mean, I mean, and here's the thing about these conflicts between Terry and Maxine, and again, the story centers around these three sisters, right?
Hmm.
So and their family and then their lifestyle. So these and again, I can't wait to get to the look. Let me say something. These issues were already there,
Hmm.
right? And somehow Big Mama was just a band-aid, right? So some of the conflicts that were there, one of them was Bird. You mentioned Bird.
Hmm.
Bird husband, who was an ex-con, great guy, but he couldn't get a job. He lied in his application, lost his job because he
Hmm.
was he was a ex-con, right? And so she's going to her boyfriend trying to get a job, like what's her face on Why Did I Get Married Too, right? And you mentioned Maxine. She's supposed to be the she Big Mama said you were always the strongest, but she's supposed to be strong, but she's not. She's
She's not.
impulsive. She's
Hmm.
rude. She puts responsibility not on herself but on Terry to get things.
I felt that Terry and Miles could pay for everything, and then maybe we could pay you all back in installments or something.
Don't you start running that game on me again.
you know, and so you got Terry, who is
Hmm.
career driven, but that's about it. And if you
Correct.
notice in the movie, there's when they were doing a montage of the dinners and how they came together, she had another husband. She was in husband number two,
Two. Number
right?
two.
So she was too career driven and not focused on her relationship. Okay, so I mean, so and so these are some of the conflicts.
Right. So then you have like, all this stuff is basically creating a wedge between the sisters, right? Especially when the blame starts to get thrown around. And another thing to throw out there, it's a acronym that Terry has said. She said, I'm the ATM, always Terry's money.
I'm an ATM. Automatically Terry's money.
So you got to think about that too. She's like, oh my gosh, everybody wants me to take on all the responsibility. And like I said, that's what wedges the gap between the sisters. And so, man, what's the next conflict?
I mean, so in the middle of all, and here's when I looked at the movie again, it's amazing how the entire movie ballooned with all this conflict, almost like a water about to explode over a dam. And then
Hmm.
next thing you know, Big Mama dies. I'm not trying to laugh. Big Mama dies. That just completely blew everything
Hmm.
open,
Hmm.
right? So Big Mama passes away. She never gets a chance to explain to Ahmad, and so it just the dam exploded.
Right. And that moment forces everybody to like reflect of what's going on. So it's like she passes away, then all of a sudden everybody's not talking to her. No, nobody's talking to each other no more. Everything is just kind of went slide downhill, and then
Hmm.
it's like the dinner stopped, which was the unity, which brought the family together, which was the dinners.
And
But now
and
it's
not
like,
and not and I forgot to mention this. Not only
mhm,
that, Faith, the cousin, Big Mama's sister's daughter,
mhm,
comes in and sleeps with Miles.
another conflict,
Another conflict. This
another
fool was
conflict.
going 10 miles per hour because he had faith. Right? Get it? Sorry. Sorry. But anyway, go ahead, Ken. Go ahead. We'll finish. I'm
But
sorry.
but no, but yeah, you're right. So it's like all this stuff is going on. The loss of Big Mama. Nobody's coming back to the house to basically
Hmm.
have Sunday dinner. Everybody's kind of spreading out. Now the matriarch of the family is not there anymore, so everybody's being divided. Everybody's kind of doing them.
Hmm.
So, like
Hmm.
you said, the conflict with Bird asking her ex-boyfriend to get Lim a job. Now you got Terry, what I'm saying? On top of that, she was basically not being true to herself when it came down to the relationship with her husband.
Hmm.
She kind of pushed her husband away in a way because now her husband put all his not saying he put his attention all of his attention, but it pushed him to Faith,
Hmm.
which caused him more conflict. And then, like you said, 10 miles an hour with Faith. Hey,
He had faith.
he had faith. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's crazy. But now you know, with all movies, everything, you know, happens is a happy, blissful ending.
Yeah, yeah.
And I know we're not covering everything in the movie, in the synopsis, but I'm telling you, it's going to be worth it because right
Worth it.
now
Yeah.
it's just like, you know, everything ends, the family comes back together, and then we find out that uh there was money that was hidden the
Mm-hmm.
whole time. You know, Uncle Pete had the money in the
And the
TV.
TV.
And the TV. And come to find out it was a lot of money. Was able to help pay
Big Mama's
for
medical bills.
Big Mama's medical
Didn't
bills.
have to
And then they
sell the
also
house.
didn't have to sell the house. They were able to basically get things done. Although Terry and Miles didn't make it, but he was still able to come over to the house. And you know, you got to realize it's the movies, and sometimes it may happen with families like this as well,
Mm-hmm.
where everybody comes back together and they're kind of tight knit because they didn't figure out the problems. But it's not going to be like that all the way through. But you know, it's
No.
the movies. It's the movies, and you like, you know, when it comes down to, you know, these movies, it's pretend but a normal family would have been like, nah, bro, let me go ahead and leave you alone for a couple of years. Then we'll go ahead and talk and figure out what's going on, but not right
Yeah.
now. You know what I'm saying? And then you got a mod at the end, you know, talking about, you know, this is what big family's about. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is. So now I know it's a quick synopsis, but the reason why
Yep.
we're doing this is because we want to get down to the
The
debate.
nitty gritty.
To the
Because you know what,
debate.
kid? I just, you know what? I'm so hyped up about this because, again, like Ken said, we've been talking about this movie for a long time.
A
And
long
we've been
time.
watching the movie for a long time. And we noticed, wait a minute. I'm like, when the movie came out, I was like 17. I'm like, I'm not 17 no more. Something ain't lining up. Can't go. I mean,
So, all right. And to be honest with you, I watched this movie like multiple times, and I've had many conversations at work. And the main conversation or the question I have is, who is the villain? Who do you think the villain is, Joel? Tell me who you think the
look.
villain is.
Okay, for years now. Look, let me say something. I love this is why I love soul food because it's realistic in the sense of when it comes to family. Sometimes in family, we don't really deal with the reality of what really is
Mm-hmm.
going on in family.
Mm-hmm.
We pass it on, we block it out, we become passive aggressive. We don't really deal with the issue. So when everybody saw this movie, they saw Terry as the villain. She was uppity, she was bougie, she thought she was better than everybody. But here's the thing. Here's my thing. Here's my thing. Why are we knocking her education and her money?
Correct.
She was an
Correct.
African American woman and two African American family who were like the Cosbys, right? Except they were both lawyers, right? We are knocking her because she was bougie and uppity.
Mm-hmm.
She was not the villain. Now, she was bitter and angry,
Correct.
right? Let me tell you why. And
Bitter and
again,
angry.
I don't think she's the villain. I'm gonna tell you who the villain is. I'm gonna answer your question. She was bitter and angry
Mm-hmm.
because of how she was treated. Her sister took her man away. No one said anything about it.
No one said
Now,
anything.
now, granted, they weren't married. They can do whatever they want, but it's the principle of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody is saying, Terry, can you purchase this? Terry, can you buy this? Terry, can you get that with the money? And no one else seems to be trying. No, I don't know. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
Maxine and Bird were trying,
Correct.
right? But Terry, so to me, Terry was not the villain. Everybody was a villain in their own right
In their own right.
because, and I'm gonna give you a main villain. Everybody was a villain in their own right because they had their own situations they didn't deal with. You know who the main villain was? Big Mama.
All right. Tell me.
All right. So Big Mama was one of the biggest. I love Big Mama.
Mm-hmm.
See, here's the thing about Big Mama. She was a rock, but inside she was jelly. Okay? She was soft inside. Big Mama said we had to do what we had to do to survive. Be a fist. This family has to be the fist. Big Mama, that's that arm that you held the fist in was the same arm that was bandaged because of your diabetes. Okay. All right. I'm not trying to make fun of people who are diabetic. What I'm trying to say is Big Mama was irresponsible in in taking her insulin
Mm-hmm.
and eating. Boondocks had it right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This family ate bad. She ate bad, and no one saw that maybe eating was the problem that was causing the diabetes that
Mm-hmm.
actually caused her to go into a coma, to get her leg chopped off. No one wants to talk about that. But in the middle of the hospital, as she is laying in the hospital, what we gonna do about Sunday dinner? That's why she in the bed now. Diabetes, insulin. She wasn't being responsible.
All right. Give me number two. Give me number two. Give me number two.
Number two, what?
Number two. Another reason why she was a villain. I got a couple more.
Okay. I think she was, that's the only reason why I think she was a villain.
So that's the
She
only
was
reason I think
just
she was a villain?
irresponsible.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, you got to be the rock. And if she is the rock of the family, my thing is, you're irresponsible. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. And here's the thing: everybody loved Big Mama. Big Mama this, Big Mama that. And she was cool. Now, don't get me
She was
wrong.
cool. She was a cool woman.
Everybody had problems. Terry, we mentioned the problems. Everybody had
Mm-hmm.
problems. What was Big Mama's problem? Irresponsible, irresponsibility, no accountability,
No
eating
accountability.
bad food. Because that's what happened in the movie, right? He
Mm-hmm.
said when they were in the hospital, you haven't been watching your eating. Well, who the heck has been watching their eating? Because the last time I checked on that plate was macaroni, some ham. She mentioned chitlins,
Yes.
pies. Like you said, Ken, did anybody have a salad, man?
Nobody had no salad on that table. Not a nail one had a salad on that table. This is, let me tell you why I found her to be the villain. And a lot of
Okay.
people might disagree with me. But the reason why I found her to be the villain as well is because she put, and looking back at the movie, it was almost like she put the responsibility of Ahmad
Yes.
to
Yes.
bring the family back together.
Yes.
A little boy should not have all of that responsibility.
No.
First of all, he shouldn't even have to lie. He had to lie to
He
get
had
them
to
back
lie.
in the house. Say, hey, Big Mama, give me some money. Now everybody eye perking up. Big Mama, give me some money. The fact of the matter is that she was like on her deathbed. She's telling him, "Go get." We don't know what she's going to tell him.
Yes.
She could have told him, "Hey, go get the money at the TV." You know what I'm saying? It could have been
Could have been.
anything. But because she did talk to him, say that she did talk to him and be like, the hand is the whatever that fish nonsense was. That's why I felt like she was a villain in her own right too. That was my second reason why she was a villain. Because for you to put that much responsibility in the young man's hands like that, he had to basically get out of, not saying get out of character, but he basically had to do whatever it needs to be to basically bring the family back, which I liked. But at the same time, it was not cool for him to be put out there like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one of my main things. I was like, that's not cool. That's why I kind of saw her as a villain as well. I was like I said, I told my coworkers today, I was like, I'm not going to call her selfish, but I'm going to call her careless because of what you stated before. She had opportunities to basically take the medicine to basically help her with her diabetes. What my coworkers were saying is that she was taking care of the family. Okay, and I understand that she was, but at the same time, self-care is also another thing that you need to have. And she wasn't having the self-care for herself. I know they didn't have phones back in the day like we have now, but there should have been some type of calendar reminder. Hey, I need to take my pill today. Hey,
She had
I need
that.
to make
She wasn't
sure
doing it.
she
She
wasn't
did,
doing
yeah.
it. She was not doing it, and and yeah, that's why I felt like. All right. So, who was the most toxic character to you in this movie?
Okay. I say the only reason why I say Maxine, right?
Okay.
The reason why I say, okay, let me back up. When you say toxic, what do you mean?
I
You say mean somebody that has sort of been poisoned everybody else in a sense. They've negatively influenced everybody else in a way.
Well, I'll say toxic in the situation that they were in.
Okay. I say Maxine.
Mm-hmm.
The reason is because Maxine, even when Big Mama's going for her surgery, Big Mama tells her, "You have always been the strongest,"
Mm-hmm.
right? But she wasn't the most responsible. She argued, she fussed, she passed on the responsibility to Terry. She that's what she was. cursing up in the hospital, saying we're gonna have soul food, and Terry's like, no, see, I didn't agree with that. We're gonna have
Mm-hmm.
soul food tomorrow, and Terry was like, no, I'm not. She's like, I'm not gonna break a 40-year tradition, but I'm like, is it? See, is that really responsible? Like
No.
it, we'll be fine, but no, right?
No.
So I agree with the fact. So I think she wasn't real bad, but I
Mm-hmm.
think it was. I think
Okay.
some of it was because I don't think she became responsible at the end
Okay.
because she helped
Uncle
what's
Pete.
Uncle Pete. And
Mm-hmm.
then Faith was running and she said, Faith, don't run. We're gonna work this out. Then she became more responsible.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, she was just loud and not and passing off her responsibilities.
Okay. So I felt like the toxic person in this movie was Bird. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell
Okay.
you why. Because for one, I know we talked about the wedding, but who invites their exes to the wedding? Who invites their
I
exes to the
think they
wedding?
crashed, Ken. I
You
think
think
they
they crash?
crashed.
I don't think so
You don't
because
think they crashed?
no,
Okay.
because if you go back and look at the movie in the beginning, Lim is actually dancing with her. If she crashed, if that was my wife, it'd have been like, no, she needs to leave.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. And then you let this man put the money
Yes. I
down your
remember the
dress.
part. Let him
That's
flip
the
on
first.
you in your wedding gown.
And your wedding gown.
What would you stand and let them feel you up in your wedding gown?
That was the first thing. Second thing is, a lot of females are not going to like this. You ask your ex-boyfriend to help my current husband for a
Yes.
job. And let me
Yeah.
tell you this. And that would hurt a man's pride. I don't give a damn what you
That
say
would.
to justify it.
Yes.
That man said he been on 6 jobs or
Interviews.
job
Yes.
interviews.
Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
And he's trying to find a way to push through to be a man for you,
Himself.
husband
Yeah.
that you
He was.
married. But you
Mhm.
go out there and ask this man to say, hey, my husband down on his luck right now. You think you can get him a job? No, no grown man wants to hear that.
No
My
one.
wife out there telling your ex to go get me a job? No, no.
And then the dude shows up at the job
Shows
and
up at the job.
insults his wife,
Coca. I call her Coca-Cola.
showing the
Coca-Cola.
lips up close.
Coca-Cola. All right. Then here's the last one. Here's the last
Uh-huh.
one. The man come up in there from the job interview and it's like,
Mhm.
man, I went in there, got my job interview. I spoke to Kenny Simmons. They talk about they don't even know who Kenny Simmons is. What she got on? Lingerie. Not
Red.
even paying
Yeah.
attention, trying to distract
Yeah.
him from what is going on. Just
Yes.
be honest. That was a toxic situation because now he's going over there looking crazy at the hair salon. He slammed the door. He like, what you did for this?
Yeah,
What you did
Ken,
for the bracelet?
let me interject this. Lim was one of the ones who were trying to get himself together.
Trying to get
And he
himself
was
together.
and he was honest. He admitted, I shouldn't have lied on the application. Should I tell my wife? He didn't. And he broke down after and said, I lied. I didn't want to do it. He made a
Mhm.
mistake. Let me tell you something about Lim. His problems did not increase until he joined that family. Think about it, Ken. Big Mama's dying, shifted everything, and Lim probably thinking, what? Now look, he had his own problems, but it's like, what did I just marry into? My wife is going to her ex, and his sister calls the other
Cousin.
cousins to come, and
Blimp.
Lim's like, I
Called
had no
Blimp.
problems until when I got to jail until this family.
Until his family. Until his family, right?
Oh, I tell you, boy.
All right.
Poor Lim, man.
I pulled them. Now I got another one.
Okay.
Did Big Mama do more harm than good?
I think okay. I've been knocking on Big Mama a lot, right? I think Big Mama did the best she could with what she has.
Okay.
Here's my thing. Big Mama was their idol. Big Mama was their God.
Mm.
See, here's the thing. Big Mama did the best she could, but Big Mama ain't God. Everybody made themselves hover around Big Mama as an idol. Now,
Right.
Big Mama did the best she could. She
Right.
did. But Big Mama's still human. Big Mama still ain't taking her insulin. Big Mama still holding back things. Big Mama still got problems, right? I think she did what she could, and most of the harm wasn't from Big Mama. Again, yeah, Big Mama didn't do what we're supposed to, but remember, we mentioned early in the synopsis that everybody had their problem. Every family had their own problems.
Mhm.
Big Mama was sort of the referee sometimes, but they had
Correct.
their own issues. And this is okay. This is what I want to say. If Big Mama still lived, Lim would have still lost his job. Bird would have still called the boyfriend.
Mhm.
Faith would have still come over. Faith would have still bunked Miles. Now, let me say something about this real quick, King, real quick. Now, look, let me say this.
Mhm.
People would say, no, Terry did not want to go to Miles's concert because she was sad about Big Mama. Fair. But what does Miles say before that? You didn't come before. I've been asking you to come. You didn't come before Big Mama was sick. What is the chances that she would have came and saw him the other time? The chances would have been low.
Low.
So even if Big Mama was fine, Terry wouldn't have went to the club. Faith still went. She still played she still helped her audition. They still ended up bonking. Even if Big Mama was there, they still would have been did. They still would
Still
have
would
did
have
the
been doing
same
the
thing.
same exact thing.
So Big Mama did what she could, which is good, but the harm really came from the families of them not dealing with their own issues without Big Mama.
Right. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. All right. So, which sister would you say was right? Now, let me talk on this one.
Go ahead. I want to.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I really think Terry was right.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And the
Terry's
reason
like
why I say,
Magneto.
and the reason
Terry
why I
was
say,
right.
see, the reason why I say Terry was right is because Terry was like, I was the one that was in the books. I was the one that went to school. I didn't stay here, although I did come back. Now, at this time, I forgot what my wife's mom used to say to her. I can't remember what it was. But it was something she used to say, and it was crazy, but it was cool because now I'm gonna have to probably ask her later, but it was something where she would be like, self-praise. Oh gosh, I don't mess up what she said, but I'm not gonna say it. Yeah, but it was, but maybe basically about self-praise. And although Terry was doing a lot of self-praising, she was there.
She
And
was.
she was basically kind of pointing them in the right direction. She was like, hey, we need to do this for Big Mama. And we need to do this for Big Mama. Big Mama need to make sure she's taking her medicine. And I believe Terry wasn't there all the time, but she was basically kind of the head at that time to basically make sure that what was going on was going the proper way. Although she had to pay for those things, she was right. And to be honest with you, I hate to say it, she was kind of right in saying, hey, we got to sell a house. And the reason why I
Yes.
said she was kind of right
Yes.
is because all of that burden still would have been on her.
Yes. Yes.
It would have been on her, regardless of anything. But at the end of the movie, you can see when the house almost caught on fire, her whole demeanor changed. Oh my gosh, the house.
House.
Because why? It was a memory that she saw herself growing up in that
She
house.
did.
Although she wanted to sell it, she had every right to maybe sell a house because once again, it would have been on her. Now she's not with Miles anymore. It still would have been on her.
Yeah.
And then Maxine with this, oh, we'll pay you back as like we did before. No.
No.
Don't play stupid games with me. So it's just the fact that I feel like she was right. She was right in the situation. She was right. Terry was the person who was like, hey, we got to think with a clear mind when it comes down to these situations. Like you said, Mama just got her leg amputated. Why are we needing to do so? Why we need to have soul food on Sunday? We need to be in here with Mama. And then to even look back at the movie, I don't even think they visit Big Mama that much anyway.
Yeah, I think it was it probably was something like on and off because Ahmad said every time I try to come, there are people here who try to fuss and argue, and maybe some of them didn't go come Big Mama
Correct. So I'm like, did they
because she
really
was in the coma.
visit? She was in a coma. So I'm like, okay. And like I said, that was my opinion. What you think?
I mean, I think this is what I think about Terry. I think Terry did not get the respect she deserved, and she became bitter.
Mm,
And in her bitterness, she said, and I didn't agree with Maxine when she said, I know that thing with Miles has you messed up, but you can't sell the house. No, she always has been messed up, even before that.
with the first marriage, like I said, we don't know what happened
First
with the first
marriage, we
marriage.
don't know,
Hmm.
but we do know, and Terry admitted she felt like she would have screwed up the marriage if she was with Kenny. Fine.
Fine.
She was, and she became, see, she became a villain in her, right?
Hmm.
Because she became bitter. I'm the one that stayed in class. I'm the one that did this. Give me my respect. And
Hmm.
yes, kid, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The reality is you cannot afford the house. Okay? Big Mama, who gonna pay her bills? Why would you put it on Terry? See, I'm not saying don't help the family.
Right.
But why would you put it on them? You know why? Because you know they have the money.
They have the money.
Therefore, you think that's why when Vivica said, "Hey, Terry, you can pay for everything and we pay back in installments," because she knew that was wrong. And Terry's like, "Don't give me
Hmm.
that game. Don't run that game by me because it's a game." And that happens a lot with families. People got money and they assume you're supposed to help me.
Supposed to help.
And here's the
Supposed to
thing.
help.
I'm not going to get mad that Big Mama insurance was bad. That part of that is systemic. Part of that is she can't help that at her
Hmm.
age. I understand that. But everybody here is working. Bird, you got money. You mentioned to Lim. Talon's doing well. Kenny, you got your little job. You better do something. Um, Terry, Maxine, you got a baby. That's fine. That's cool. And yeah, me and Miles, we'll put a little bit down, but I'm not putting down
Putting
everything.
everything.
I
Correct.
agree. And guess what, Ken? People do that to people. And he said, we're putting Pete in the home. Look. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Everybody in there works. Maxine had a baby. Ann had a
Hmm.
mod and a little girl.
Hmm.
Kenny worked most likely a 9 to 5. Lim's in jail, but he about to get out and get a job.
Hmm.
Bird and got the salon, and they still living at Big Mama's house.
Correct.
And Terry and Miles breaking up. Here's the reality. Who gonna take care of Uncle Pete with all that?
That is correct.
Who really is gonna take care of this man who was mentally broken?
The only thing I can say that could probably take care of the man would be Maxine, which is Vivica, because she doesn't have a job. And not knocking her for not having a
I know what you
job,
mean. She stay at
but
home,
she stay
but
at home.
but how can she if she has the baby?
That is correct.
So
That is correct.
Terry putting him in a home. Who gonna take care of him? That's not right. You gonna take care of him? You gonna change him if he poops on himself? He talking senile stuff. You gonna feed him? You gonna cook? And he eating soul food too. He talk about you want some catfish? He don't need catfish.
He gonna say, remember we used to do the catfish, put
To
the
put the
butter in
sausage
there.
and the grinding and
I'm
the
thinking to myself, do you know how much calories
he don't need that.
you don't
See,
need
it's
that?
so Terry, and we don't like this. The reality is, I'm not gonna keep paying money. I paid for the wedding. That was probably about $5,000, $6,000.
Correct.
I paid. I paid for the shop. Right.
Correct.
I
I gave
did
her a
all
loan.
these things.
And I
He's
plus I
getting
paid
angry.
the mortgage on my Big Mama house last month.
Yes. Yes. My thing
So
is, you're still putting. No, we selling the house. If you don't like it, you pay the bills.
right,
And Pete going in the home. We love
right.
him, but nobody can take care of him.
Nobody can take care of him. And looking back at it now, when Bird and Maxine did the injunction to stop her from selling the house, I was like, okay,
Dang,
I
okay.
understand that, but at the same time, do y'all have the money to pay the mortgage on the house? You know what I'm
No,
saying? Do y'all
they
have the
don't.
money to pay? They don't. So they're not thinking clearly, like you said, Maxine. She thinks with her heart instead of her head. which is
Yep.
causing the problem. All right. Last one. I think it's the last one. I think it was the last one.
Yes, debate. Yeah.
What really broke the family?
All right. I'm gonna get real.
All right.
Okay. And I think a lot of families are like this. And you know me, Ken. I'm a pastor. I minister to students and people. And I think one thing that holds the family together is Christ, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the issue here is Big Mama was the God. Big Mama was God. If the family relies on Big Mama, who is a rock but jelly inside, it is a disaster waiting to happen.
Mm-hmm.
She cannot be everything to all of them. And I spoke about this before. I think some of my listeners are going to get mad at me when I say this. There were men in the families, husbands.
Oh yeah.
Why
I knew you
didn't they
about,
spend?
I knew you about to say. I knew you about to say.
Yes. Big Mama, where were the men? Kenny, Lim. We can understand Lim is struggling, right? And Miles, they're men. They have to be the head of their home and love their family and make decisions, not Big Mama. We're not married to Big Mama. Big Mama husband is dead. Terry, I'm married to you. I don't care what Big Mama say. You got to be that fist. No, I'm not going to be the fist. I'm going to be a fist for my family. And I love Big Mama, but Big Mama, you are not God. You are an idol. And because Big Mama became an idol, they held to her. And when she fell apart, they fell apart too. But they were already apart. And guess what? Guess what? Ahmad even said it. We mentioned Ahmad narrates, right?
Mm-hmm.
When Big Mama died, he said, who's going to hold us together now?
Pulling together in times of need, that always been Big Mama's job. But who was gonna do it now that she was gone?
It sure ain't Pete. It sure ain't Terry. See, here's the thing, Ken. Terry, Maxine, and Bird, they can't hold the family together. They're too broken, just like Big Mama.
That's like Big Mama. Just like
You know
Big
what's
Mama.
gonna happen? It'll be a soul food too. Maxine's gonna be a Big Mama, and she mess up. So, I mean, and don't get me wrong. I think family is important. I think family is important to God.
Right.
I think family is important. But the backbone of the family cannot be one person.
Right.
It has to be, if we're going to be a family, we have to lift each other up. But one person cannot be the idol.
But see, you gotta think about it too. The tradition, and it's alive now because you have those matriarchs in the family that are trying to do what the big mamas did. Like, for example, my coworker today, she was like, it just reminds me of, you got those matriarchs in the family, and it just, we don't have that anymore. I was like, yeah, but you got to think about it. The tradition is so much built on that. You have those Medias that's trying to be,
Yes.
so still the head of the family, but then you have those other people that have those husbands that's like, nah, I'm going to take care of my family.
Family.
I'm
Yeah.
going to provide for my family, and then from there go and basically make their family what it is. And don't get me wrong, you still gonna love on them and everything
Of
like that.
course.
But you gotta take care of your family. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Don't get me wrong. Like I said, the Sunday dinners, that's fine.
Yeah.
No problems with that. I had no problem with the Sunday dinners and things like that. But just to be, I could see, like you're saying, where were the men at that time? Where were they? Why were they in the background? Like you said, Miles is there. Bird, you know what I'm saying? Lim, he was there too. Like you said, he had this craziness going on with him. Then you had Kenny. Why wasn't
They-
Kenny?
Okay. Kenny. Okay. There was a part in the hospital where Terry walks out angry. Kenny tries to reason with her. You might be wrong about this. I don't want to hear it. You need to listen to them. I don't want to hear it. Fine. Lim was trying. Lim was trying to be a man.
Mm-hmm.
And he was trying. He even picked up Ahmad. He reasoned with him. And he told Bird 6 interviews, right? I'm trying. I don't, and Bird undercuts him and disrespects him by going to her ex, who she probably believed was more manly than Lim. And she missed it. Your ex was not a man. He was a boy.
He was a boy.
trying to be a player with his red, with his medium rare lip looking things, right? So his little lip just showing his lips, and so here's Miles was trying to find himself by being in a band. And here's the thing about Miles. Okay, let me say about Miles, right? Miles just wanted to be respected for him being a musician.
Yes.
I want to do this, Terry. This is important to me. And Terry didn't step up. Terry thought it was stupid. It was dumb. It was a nonsensical thing, right? But Miles wasn't in dreamland. He had a plan.
He had a
He was a
plan.
musician. He had things together. He was a lawyer and this. He knew what he wanted to do. And here's the hard part about it. Who showed up? Faith.
Faith.
Who showed up at the club? Faith.
Faith.
I feel you, Miles. You are cool. You are good. Your band is amazing. You cool. And guess what? I want to dance too. Miles couldn't help himself.
And see those words of affirmation.
That words of affirmation made Miles feel this person likes me. But guess what? It was false.
It was false.
It was fake. It was false. It wasn't faith. It was a lie. It was fake. And he wronged her. And then afterwards, he felt bad.
Felt bad.
You got a wife, dude. I'm
Felt
sorry.
bad.
Terry might be sickness sometimes, but that's your woman.
Correct.
Can't do that. So look, people might say this about Miles. Well, she should have took care of his man. I don't care. You don't sleep. You don't cheat on your woman because she ain't giving you attention. That's still your woman. Terry's still holding you down.
Yeah.
And I get it. She don't understand. So the best thing to do is to bonk the cousin of the family?
Yeah. Oh, and to even go back to that scene, when they were in the kitchen and she was like, F family.
Yeah.
Family messed with my husband, right?
Yeah.
You know that part was improvised.
Really?
Vanessa Williams was on an interview and it was like, so the part where you were in the kitchen, she was like, she said, all that was improvised. She said, if you go back and look at their faces, that all that was real. When you saw Kenny's face,
Wow.
Kenny was like, what the heck is going on? When you saw Miles' face and he was trying to find the door to pull the door back, and when Faith jumped on the thing, all that was improvised. They didn't know what she was going to do. So when I
the
saw
whole
that
scene
interview,
from
I was
even
like,
with the knife?
even with the knife, they didn't know she was going to do that. That whole part was improvised.
Dang, she was a pretty good actress. That was good.
So that was real good. Now that was real good. All right, so now we done went over Soul Food.
This was
boy, this is going. I can't wait till we put this one out. And the reason why I can't wait because I want to hear y'all comments. I really want to see what y'all thinking about. Because like right now, I want to know what your take is on who the real villain is.
Yes, who's the real villain?
Was it Terry, Miles, the system, or was it the family themselves? You know what I'm saying? And to be honest, like, which sister did you like the most? You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, I like Terry. I did like Terry. I felt like Terry got the bad end of the stick, and that's why I liked her. She was an underdog, and she came up on top. You know what I'm saying? You got your man taken from you. All this stuff is going on, and you finally rose to the cream of the crop.
Yes.
So that's what I feel. I cannot wait till we put this out.
And I think the hero of the movie was that money.
When you saw the money flying up in the air,
I'm joking, man. Everybody was straight after that. Come on, man. Ken,
that's why I say it's a movie.
Done.
It's a movie.
It's a movie. Everybody thought, oh, money came out. Family, when hard times, family come together. Nah. See, Lim still got to keep a job.
Yes.
Right? They got to fix that door that he broke. They got to work in their relationship. She had an emotional relationship with this dude. That still got to get worked out. Somebody still got to take care of Uncle Pete. Somebody still got to, they pay Big Mama's bills with the, with the money. Terry still divorced. It's still, and I don't think the family's saying that the problem is completely over. I'm saying that I think what Ahmad is trying to say is that even in tough times, the family's still together.
Right.
But is the family really dealing with it?
We
That's
gonna
my
find
last
out.
thing. I'm not gonna,
We're gonna find out. We're gonna find
we'll
out.
find out.
So, like I said, I'm glad we finally got this one because this
Yes.
is one we wanted to do for a long time. And like I said, we just want to make sure that y'all still like, comment, subscribe to all our platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Like I said, me and Joe cannot wait to put out this content so we can hear y'all views of this movie. Like I said, who's the villain? Who's the most toxic? Did Big, you know what I'm saying, was Big Mama the a good thing or a bad thing with the family? We want to hear y'all, please.
Yes.
We want to see what y'all point of view is. So once we put this out, like I said, just flood our timeline, flood it. We don't mind comment back, commenting back to y'all and stuff like that. So yeah, we want to hear y'all view.
Well, look, I'm Joel Brown. I'm the co-host.
And I'm Kenyatta Mitchell, the host of Real Ones Only. And once again, we'll say thank you so much for checking us out tonight.
And see y'all at Sunday dinner. Peace.